All right, Miss Ruby is going to show off a little bit of what she's working on today. We're going to do some place commands. Ruby has been reactive with other dogs in the past. Binks sleeping over there on her bed. I got Spasty and Sirius back there hanging out on dog beds. And so we're going to practice some place command while there's other dogs in here. I've also got Delta in a kennel back there. So there's a lot of dogs in the room. There's a cat with newborn kittens in a crate. And there may be cats walking in and out of the barn or the garage while we're here. Yeah, you know what that is, don't you? Yeah, good girl. So I always like to prime dogs when we first start out with what we're working on. When we're going to work on something new, I like to work on something that they've already been patterned on and that they already know. Ruby, sit. Good girl. Okay, Ruby. Good girl. Ruby, sit. Good girl. Stay. Okay, Ruby. Good girl. So we're doing a couple of little stay drills. This is going to be the first time I've asked her to get on one of these beds. These giant guys on these beds, sometimes they don't like it. Ruby, sit. Good girl. Because they're big and the bed can be kind of wonky when they get on it. So we'll see how she does with it. Ruby, go to bed. Yeah, she's avoiding it. Come on. All right. Come on. On the bed. Come on. All right. So we're going to work her through it. Come on. Come on. No. Come on. Come on. Nope. Come on. Atta girl. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. So we're going to settle for front feet on the bed at first. Okay. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. Good girl. So she took a little bit of convincing, but we're going to make this a fun endeavor for her. Great Danes can tend to be a little bit jumpy and skittish about things, just kind of common in the breed. Ready? Come on, go to bed. Come on. Atta girl, good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Very good girl. Okay, Ruby. Good girl. Now, normally, those of you that have taken lessons from me before or have watched my videos, normally I will tell you not to hand feed them on their bed. Ruby is one of those exceptions to that whole never say never thing that you hear me say all the time, where I talk about, there's no one right way to do anything. So with Ruby being as big as she is, if I drop this treat on the bed, she's not going to get on the bed. She's going to reach her big long neck on the bed and get it without stepping up there. And so what I'm doing is I'm luring her right now. Once she gets comfortable with this, we'll start tossing the treat and we'll go back to normal. So sometimes you have to work them through it, and sometimes we have to be able to go a little bit against the rules to make it work right. Come on, go to bed. Come on, go to bed. Good girl, good girl. See, now I'll drop it. Good girl. Very good. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So right now the ultimate goal is make her comfortable getting on this thing. So there's a couple things going on here. Hush, Delta. Danes are a little jumpy. They can be a little skittish and kind of like, I don't know about that thing, which has been a big problem for Ruby. This is clear almost because it's mesh, so it's see-through. Ruby's looking at it going, there's no way that's going to hold me. And I'm telling her, nope, you're going to trust me. It's going to hold you. Ruby, sit. Very good. Very good girl. She's like, I will do anything for lamb lung. Ready? Ruby, go to bed. Yes. Now it doesn't require any convincing. She's walking right on it because now she's learning, oh, I can trust you. You got boogers in your eyes. You got eye boogers, huh? Okay. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. Ruby. Ruby, sit. Stay. Okay. Good girl. Over here. Find a piece we dropped. Good girl. Good girl. Ruby, sit. Stay. I love how quickly and politely she sits. Nope, sit, stay. Nope. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. So she's figuring out her release command very nicely. Ruby, sit. So let's try something new. Stay. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. So that's the first time I've dropped a treat on the floor. So it was almost too much for her. She had to stand up and stare at it. Come here. Ruby. Ruby. Ruby, sit. No, come here. Ruby, sit. Sit. Have we had enough? Come here. Ruby, sit. Stay. Wait. Okay. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Ruby, sit. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Okay. Good girl. Very good girl. So anyways, there's a little update on Ruby, a little tidbit about doing something different for the sake of the dog at hand. You know, it's important that you not get so stuck on like, this is the only way to train this, that you're not disabling the dog that you're working with because you're going, oh, but that's not how we do it. Too bad. This dog needs that, you know. Normally I would tell you don't give the treat out of your hand when you put him on a bed, but that's what Ruby needed, so that's what we did. So anyways, there's a little update on Ruby. Have a good one.